City of Cape Town and police have contradicting information on the number of arrests in connection with 3 DA MPs' attack. JP Smith says there's a third arrest, while police say only 2 people have been arrested following the incident. Now, the chairperson of Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Police, Ian Cameron, and National Council of Provinces member Nicholas Gotsell were attacked and left injured in Philippi in the Cape Flats yesterday. Lisa Schickerling was also in the vehicle at the time of the incident. Member of the Mayoral Committee for Safety and Security, JP Smith.
There are numerous members of our SSIU working with SAPS on this, and hopefully that will also bring relief to others. There were 2 circumstances. The one was Ian Cameron discharging his firearm and injuring the one, which caused that person to be taken to hospital. And the second circumstance, the capturing of the CCTV on the CCTV cameras at the hospital of the vehicle registration. Those 2 circumstances have allowed now for some progress in this case. Had that not happened and had it just been the smash and grab, we were unlikely that we would have yielded these kind of outcomes, because likely the assailants also choose their spots far from local CCTV cameras on some of our primary roads. Over the last years, we've concentrated all of our camera installations on these most vulnerable roads based on SAPS's crime threat analysis. But they're also clever enough to choose spots where the drivers and the passengers are most vulnerable.
And that is the member of the Mayoral Committee for Safety and Security, JP Smith, giving us the very latest then on what exactly has taken place from his vantage point and what he knows about this particular incident, because there have been quite a number of contradicting stories, including the number of arrests, for example. Some reports suggesting that it's 3 people, other reports saying that it's actually 2 people who would have been arrested, and also one of the the suspects believed to have been involved in this particular incident was found at a medical facility where he was seeking medical assistance. That's when the police are believed to have pounced on him. But now we do understand that if it is 2, police are in search of the third suspect. So let's clarify things now and bring you more on this particular story. And just to give us a sense of how things are looking, we speak to Western Cape Police spokesperson Brigadier Novella Botello. Brigadier, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. Still some conflicts as far as the number of the suspects is concerned. So how many people do you have, and how many are you still looking for?
Good evening, Bongiwe. 2 suspects have been arrested so far. One was arrested on Tuesday evening. I think that is the one in your intro where you made reference to the fact that he had sought medical assistance at a facility in Ledekier. And the second, that was the 18-year-old. The second suspect, and we're talking about a 16-year-old, was arrested in the early hours of this morning. The suspect will be appearing in court. One suspect will be appearing in court because the first suspect, the 18-year-old, is still in the hospital. So it will only be the one suspect, the 16-year-old, that will be appearing in the Athlone Magistrates Court tomorrow.
So are you still looking for the third suspect? Is there a third suspect?
Our serious and violent crimes detectives are following some leads pertaining to a third suspect. So they are still out there, and no arrest has been effected yet.
And what exactly happened, according to what the police know? Were they at the police academy still inside the premises, or were they on their way out at the time?
The location where the attack occurred, it is outside the premises of the Philippi Academy, but it is still in the Philippi area. Corner, the exact location is the corner of Isleben and Governbeke Road. That's where the incident occurred. So I can confirm that it was outside the premises of the training academy.
And when we look at this particular incident, reports suggest, and even what we heard from JP Smith there, that one of the occupants in the vehicle fired shots. That is the case, correct?
Yes, Bongiwe. Our statement that we issued today also confirmed that. And we indicated in the statement, and I wish to reiterate that, the suspect was found at a medical facility because he had suffered a gunshot, because one of the occupants in the vehicle during the attack responded by firing a shot. As to who of the three occupants, that is the subject of the police investigation. And unfortunately, we cannot be discussing that at this point.
Yeah. So as you investigate, are you able to tell us if that firearm is with the police for ballistics testing?
That firearm is with the police for ballistic testing. It forms part of the investigation that we're currently busy with.
Brigadier, if one could ask, right, is it something that is, one would say maybe common? And I ask this because there are some who are asking that maybe Parliament would deploy security if they're going to some of these areas where they think that, the crime rate, for example, is quite high. So is that something that is quite common, that, parliamentarians would take security with them? Would you know?
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to confirm that, as it falls outside of my jurisdiction. But what I can say is that the area where the incident occurred, there had been previously smash and grab incidents in the area. Okay. And as a result of that, between the Nyanga police station and the Philippi East police station, because they share that boundary, they deploy a vehicle in the area. That is why the response of the police to where the three MPs were after the attack, the police were able to go promptly. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances in the area, it is such a busy area, quite congested in terms of the number of vehicles that are in the area. You've got the small sedan vehicles called Amapela, the taxis, and other taxis. And besides, it is across a mall, and you find a lot of pedestrians, especially at that time. It is quite a busy area, and it took time for our police officials who were deployed in the area to be able to reach the victims.
And was it a targeted incident or a robbery? Because some of those who are involved here seem to be thinking that, in fact, it was a targeted incident.
In dealing with such, I would advise that we be informed by what we uncover in the investigation. And I would avoid speculating on that, because I feel it has to be supported by evidence that it was a target. But as of now, we're busy with the investigation. If it turns out that it was a target, we will be guided by what the investigation uncovers.
And as police, as you say, when you are looking at an area like Philippi and you say it's quite densely populated, but there is, of course, the issue of the smash and grabs that you are talking about, are you making inroads as far as the suspects are concerned, given the fact that you might now need to have a bit more intelligence to know who's behind these smash and grabs?
Exactly. That is something we work on a weekly basis, based on incidents that have occurred and what we have uncovered in instances where suspects have been arrested. It is something we work on, and it changes time, because at some point you'll pick up that it is at a particular corner. When you intensify deployments in that corner, there is some form of displacement of crime. It moves elsewhere. So we should be in a position to know that we're no longer having incidents here now, but they have since moved to an area perhaps a few meters down to where you have placed your deployments. And it requires that our deployments also need not to be stationary. They need to be moving in the area. So those are things that we work on a daily basis, and we change our tactics from time to time.
All right, Brigadier, thank you so much for your time. That was the Western Cape spokesperson for the police, Brigadier Novella Potero.